Shall we play a game?
Arg, technical difficulties, arg. Hi. Just typing into the chat so people see that now. Anyway, looks like we're up and running now. So, good stuff. We are doing some... What are we doing this morning? Yes, some stuff that people have asked for. It's not the stuff Metro asked for, but I will do the stuff Metro asked for. It's in the queue. So, what are we doing today? Hey, you be quiet, phone. What we're doing today is we are running some from London Commuter and some from Southeastern High Speed, and depending on the time, we might get into NTP as well. So let's start off with 1M39, Brighton to London, Victoria, in the rain. Cool. Okay, now let's set this thing up. So master key, reverser, which I'm using, rail driver, get the doors open. What side are the doors on? Must be on the right hand side, surely. Okay. Now we also need my phone to be quiet, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. TSD, vigilance, I don't want vigilance. That's what I want. AWS. Okay, we're nearly ready to go. Just headlights now. Where's the headlights control on this one? I could use the rail driver switch, but that's cheating. Must be up there. There we go. Day running. That looks good. And I've got tail lights on auto. Does that mean that they're on or off? They're off. Fantastic. Anyway, we are on Southeastern High Speed, and so, no, we're not. We're on London Commuter. Brighton to London, or London to Brighton, depending on your point of view. And depending on who you chat with, this is a good run, so I chose it. I don't know if you know, but there's a list of good service runs on the forums that make sense to people and make people happy. So if you're into good service runs, ones that make you happy because they're busy or they've got lots of AI traffic or strange things happen, which is what happens in this case, then yeah, get ready for some fun. Hello, Caleb Keppel from New Mexico. Welcome. Hello, Metra. Welcome. Metra will be rail fanning today or tomorrow. Why is it my phone making so much noise today? Go into silent, you hideous little thing. Oh, actually, I know why it wasn't on silent, because they're doing a major upgrade at work today. But they can wait till tomorrow. Alrighty, let's get out of here. Why is it my rail driver working on the throttle? Because it's not. Okay, we'll have to do it the hard way. Hello, Mr. Mayhem. Rail driver's working for everything else, but it's not doing the... Oh, now it is. Okay. I think I know what's wrong here. I think I know what's wrong. Let me just have a quick look. Yes, I just switched from dev. I have not calibrated my rail driver. Excuse me just a moment while I calibrate my rail driver. I'm sorry. I should have done this yesterday. But I didn't actually play after I switched from dev yesterday. It takes so long, I tend to just let it do it, and then I go to sleep. I'm surprised any of it worked. Bail off. Up the top. Almost there. Right. There we go. That's better. Now it'll work fine. Quiet you. Yay! Now it works. Wipers, headlights again. Okay, off we go. How is everybody today? Did I get 2K? Oh, I was watching it the last couple of days. It was creeping up towards it, but thank you. That's cool. I woke up this morning to someone grumbling on one of my videos. But that's okay. People have their opinions. He's just wrong, but that's fine. So we're in the 387GX, which is the Gatwick Express. And the reason I picked this one is, in theory, you get stuck behind other services and you see other services and there's some parallel running, so we'll see how that all pans out. All good theories. We'll soon know. What are people up to this weekend? I know Metro is planning on doing some rail fanning. If you haven't looked at Metra's channel, he publishes a lot of stuff from the Chicago area. Unsurprisingly with his channel name, I suppose, given that it's Metra 212, which is named after one of the Metra locomotives. Powering up. I might get rid of that bit of the HUD. We'll use the train, huh? Why not? All those displays are right in front of us anyway. Whoosh goes the train, past all the passengers. Ooh, look at them, stuck in the floor. That looks uncomfortable, really. Mr. Mayhem was going to go train spotting at Gowanbrae, but decided no. I know that feeling. For those of you who do not know, outside my normal job and my railway job, I'm also a photographer. And I had a model shoot yesterday with a nice young lady. And I was planning on going and chasing the Puffing Billy climax after that, but by the end of the shoot I just thought, I really couldn't be bothered today. And I came home. And then my wife made me build a cupboard instead. So I should have gone chasing the train, really. And that's okay. As long as she doesn't listen to this later. She's at work now, so there's no chance of it. But, you know, later. Could. Does sometimes. Into the big tunnel. Staggering 80 miles an hour for the English electric stock. Yes, Metro, it does count that it's the town you live in. I don't know, I'd call Chicago a town. It's maybe just slightly larger than that. Just slightly. Our big Gatwick cruise. Haven't seen anything exciting happen so far, but there you go. And why did I choose rain? Because they finally fixed the window in this train, and rain lands on it now. Ooh, what happened there? They got bright all of a sudden. Did I turn the lights on or something silly? No? Mr. Mayhem asks, do I like high-speed trains? To look at and to ride? Yes. To drive in a simulator, not really, because... What is my rail driver doing? They are, what's I going to say? Not that exciting, because it's just from point A to point B. It's like this one. I'm running this one because it should have some other stuff happen. This one has 3 stops. I think it's 3 stops. Yep. Gatwick and London, Victoria. We came out of Brighton with our wobbly door behind us. Green lights. Should turn the wiper off in the tunnel, shouldn't I? There's no point having it. I was running a bit late today, that's why I've still got my coffee. But I do certainly like high-speed trains to look at. Oddly enough, I don't mind routes like Castle Wurzburg. And I kind of like the, I think it's, is it the 103? Kind of like that one. Oh, you can always watch while you drive, Mr. Mayhem. Enjoy your drive. Have fun in the TGV. What's the date today? It's the 3rd, isn't it? Or is it the 4th? It's the 4th. So yes, the time for free content is gone. So if you haven't got it, oh well. Would it actually surprise you to know that occasionally I've been known to watch other people while I stream? I have done this. I'm not doing it today, but I have done it in the past. You got all of them? That is excellent, Mr. Mayhem. It sounds strange, but I'll be curious what your thoughts are. I find the Train Sim Classic version to be slightly more interesting than the Train Sim Dump World version. Going up a hill here, so I need a bit of power. We're coming out of the English boonies. The next train is not stopping. It is going really fast and will clobber your head if you don't stand behind the yellow line. Shh. Mr. Mayhem sadly can't watch while driving, has a laptop, only has one monitor. Oh, that's sad. There's a leafy sign back there, which warns us this area is slippery. I've only got one monitor as well. It's just large. Earlier this week I had two, but now I have one because I replaced it. I'm still running the game in a window for you guys at 2K, because streaming at 5K I think would not work very well. Not only would it be about this high for most of you, which would not be very exciting, I'm not actually sure I've got enough bandwidth to push 5K out. So I plonk it in the middle and run it at 2K. Okay, enjoy your drive, Mr. Mayhem. Thanks for dropping by. "12 miles to Gatwick Airport." I have to fly interstate soon. Be the first time I've been near an airport since COVID. I know they have new procedures now, but I have no idea what they do, so I probably better read up on that. Make sure I meet their requirements before I get there. Otherwise it will suck. Well, it'll suck anyway, plane travel always does. One to bowl over at that station. 11 miles and 11 minutes to get there. I think we'll make it somehow. I haven't seen much in the way of the other traffic that people purport for this particular service run. We shall see. Still 90 miles an hour. I'd get up and go and talk to the passengers while we're cruising, but I turned on DSD, so I can't. If I stand up, it'll stop. Not that you do that in real life, but, you know, game. It's time for one of these. I can't get out. Gratuitous bridge shot. I can't actually remember if I'm logged into Dovetail Live or not. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, clearly I am. Vigilance. That's the little thing that goes, "Oi, are you awake, mate?" 8 miles to Gatwick Airport. Still cruising through the English countryside. Full of country folk. On our way to the big city, which in Roman times was called Londinium. Hello, Monty Burns Gaming. How are you? Welcome. Feel free to chat, folks. I can see there's a few of you there. If you feel like chatting, go for your life. We're just running a little bit of Gatwick Express action up first, which is supposedly one of the really good service runs that in the forum list. But I'm beginning to wonder if it's the morning one or the evening one with the same number that's a really good service run, because I haven't seen much going on here yet. Big long tunnel. It doesn't matter on this route because it doesn't do it, but on the other routes you may see, I have some iAdaption configuration changes, so don't be surprised if it looks a little bit different. Oh, I'm supposed to slow down, aren't I? Naughty me. I didn't. Nearly there. A little bit more brakes. "5 miles to Gatwick Airport." We're in the weeds. Is that too loud for folks? Oop, that looks like a yellow signal. Let's get some brakes on. This is where the awesome service mode starts coming into it. I was wondering why we had 7 minutes to get to Gatwick and 4 miles to go. Slow down to 60. Actually, I might keep slowing down because if the next signal's yellow, which apparently it is, the one after that could be red. And it is a solid yellow, which would suggest the next one's red, so I'll keep slowing down, I think. It is a nice livery. It's a very striking one. Bright red's not often used for trains. It's cool. That's not my red. My red's up the end of the platform up there, which we should be fine for. It's one of those situations we're going to confuse people and stop in the platform. And I think my thunderstorm's finished. The rain's going away. Now we could end up waiting a little while at this signal. This is always possible. Nope, we've gone yellow. So we're clearly following a stopping train now. So we'll be on chasing the yellows. So we cruise on through the English countryside. It's a good thing it's not a Tuesday. I suppose I should pay a little bit of attention to signals since I've got TPWS turned on. We have another yellow on the approach. And some lightning. I wish you could hear the lightning better inside the cabs. I hear the thunder, rather, because you don't hear lightning, do you? You only see lightning. Double yellow. So we can probably speed up a little bit since we seem to be going a bit slower than the other train. It's on the double yellow now. Thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening. Something to do with Galileo. 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 And if you don't know where that's from, you're not old enough. If you'd like to know where it's from and you don't, it is of course Freddie Mercury fronting Queen. I went past a single yellow and we've got a red coming up, so let's do some braking. Let's just have B2, I think. You guys get the Australian show Bananas in Pyjamas with B1 and B2? That's what I always think of when I get into an English train and I have B1 and B2 on my braking systems. Look, there's a plane. The plane, boss, the plane. Ooh, I'm sliding a little bit. This is not good. This is not good. Are we going to stop or not? It might be okay. It's either going to be okay or just not. No, we're good. We're good. Passengers in the back. Sorry about that. You can pick up your bits and pieces again. We'll endeavour to drive more smoothly. We do have a red signal on our way into Gatwick Airport platform number 4. If you are leaving us here today, enjoy your plane travel. And don't forget to take all of your stuff with you, because once you get to another country, you won't be very excited to realise you left your suitcase on the train. Lane. Come out here and listen to the thunder and the planes. What are we waiting for up front? There's a few trains in front of us. See if we can get down between them. Away we go again. Get a little bit of juice on, don't want too much because it'll just slide. Another red signal coming up, which by the looks of it is at the end of my platform. Passengers, as you alight, watch out for the lightning. Lightning never strikes twice, but if it strikes you once, it'll hurt a lot. Passengers for Gatwick Airport, this is your stop. Train always seems to have amazing braking performance until that moment when it doesn't. It's pretty, isn't it? Left-hand doors. Wait, how did I get up there? I didn't do that. So, my camera position was down there. What interfered with me that pushed me into the train? How weird. But that's okay. I think somewhere on my setup there's a USB hub that's either losing power and gaining power again, or it's not plugged in properly. Because that sounds like the game recognising a rail driver. Now, pretty bright red with a few bugs splattered on the front of it. 387. Like most airport trains around the world, they're kept pretty clean.
May I have your attention, please? Closed circuit television and remote video monitor.
Hello passengers, if you've just joined us here from a flight, welcome to our service as we head into London. If you wanted to go to Brighton, it might have been helpful for me to tell you that a few minutes ago. Because you're going the wrong way. And we are sliding. Let's try that again. There we go. When you feel this sort of motion, you know you're sliding. Rail driver clearly not happy today. Just waiting for power to settle down. Hello, Mr. SIT. How are you? CT. Is another train? He's going so fast, I don't know how he's stopping at that next platform, but there you go. Sorry people, this is not the train for you. I don't think I answered your question, SIT. I am well, thank you. And if people are wondering where the weekly quiz has gone, last time I ran it, there was a bit of an issue with people seeing the video at different times. So they didn't have an opportune moment to answer the questions. So I'm giving YouTube a while to settle down, because it was working fine up until a couple of weeks ago. And we'll have another crack at it, because I quite like the quiz. Well, it's been a while, Mr. SIT, so I guess you have missed a few streams, yes? I have been streaming each week. Last week I was streaming on Saturday instead of Sunday. And I'll be doing that again in July, because for my Steam assessment, I have to do Gembrook runs, and they only run on Sundays. So at the time of I would normally start streaming, I should have about 100 pounds on the clock and a nice warm boiler. Getting ready for my turn on the pit so that we can get out and about and pull our train. Thank you, SIT. I try to do a chilled stream. "19 miles to London, Victoria. Vigilance again. Yes, train, I am awake." I think I'm supposed to be doing 90 miles an hour around here, aren't I? I am supposed to be doing 90 miles an hour. But since we're coming up on an 80, that's fine. Oh, SIT, you can always watch them back later. They're better live, of course, because then you can ask questions and join in. Other people in the chat, you are absolutely welcome to join in at any time you like. Any questions you've got. The only things that are off limits are questions about the beta, because I cannot answer them. But any questions you've got about the game, how to play, what I'm doing right now, all good. Up to 90 mile an hour. In the tunnel. In the tunnel with lightning in it. That's somehow impressive. Train hasn't even quite made it back to 90 miles an hour yet. Maybe I should have started accelerating ages ago. Hello, Steve J. I should have daylights on. I do. Yeah, this train only has one when you have the daylights. So we're in day running, and we have our tail lights on auto. So down the back we'll have tail lights. So we should, according to that display... Oh, we should have one in the middle, and we don't. Oh well. Fish and chips. Anybody else notice that every shop down there is Bradley's? Bradley's a busy boy. 16 miles to Londinium. And descend into the darkness of another tunnel. We arrive at the other end, remarkably like giving birth, except no one smacks us. Yeah, you're right, Steve J. Headlights in Britain are pretty much only dim. They don't really have anything else. Excuse me. In the older trains, the headlights, and our railways were the same, the Victorian railways, the headlights were purely there to let other people know that there was a train coming, not to help you see. The drivers were expected to use their night sight. Whereas in the US, they tend to mount several lights, each with the power of a small sun. Vigilance again. Rain's not as heavy at this end of the tunnel. The weather is clearing up. Actually, the centre light is on. Look at that. You've just got to get close enough. Yes, SIT, the headlights on newer trains are a lot brighter. But why is that? Because all your new trains are German. Just saying. It's a nice looking bridge. Vigilance. Switch from espresso to orange juice now. Spot the person who hadn't quite finished having breakfast at the start of the stream. And I have a mustache here that I'll have to chop off later because it's getting in my mouth and it's really annoying. You guys didn't need to know that, did you? That's okay. Starting to see more traffic now that we're getting more into the centre of the universe. It's not that surprising that the Brighton end was a bit quiet. Steve asks, how far is the magnet for the signal ahead? They're within sighting distance. It varies from route to route. Most of them are in the vicinity. Like this one's quite close, but this magnet's not for the signal that's coming. It's actually for one at the end of the platform. So about 400 yards, I guess. But it does vary, and some of them are right at the signal, depending on what they're used for. SIT's got to get the first train out of his town on Monday to go to Birmingham. 2.5 hours, hoping it's not overcrowded. Yes, because it would be nice to have a seat on a trip that long. It would also be nice to not have your face stuck in someone else's crotch for the duration of the journey. Which does happen if you're on sideways seats and the train's overcrowded. Yes, Steve, you are correct. It varies from train to train, the noises it makes, but yeah, it's usually a quick, sharp sound for a green, and a buzzer or a bell or a hooter. Oh, you're hit in the face with a tree. For other indications. And the indications on, for the most part, on modern English signalling are relatively straightforward. You get the double yellow, which means you're coming up to a yellow. That white thing on the left was a repeater for this double yellow. And then you get a single yellow, and then a red. And we've got a diverging indicator up here too. And I have many things beeping at me right now. Just slowing down for the divergence. I think you're meant to be doing about 25 for a divergence, so... And of course, just as I've come into the divergence, relying on my electric brakes, we've had a line outage briefly. Now that we're through the divergence, we can speed up again. SIT says the train company that has the contract here is absolutely dreadful. They don't deserve it, always overcrowded with delays and cancellations. That's kind of the way of modern transport, unfortunately. Because naturally enough, the private companies tend to put profit before service, which means if they can run one train with one crew and make as much money as two trains, they will. It's kind of how it works. On government-run railways, it's a different mentality. Steve J says you ought to try using the M7 on the Victoria route. That would be interesting. I wonder what it'll do. I dare say you'll let me know one day. Or I'll give it a try, one or the other. Caleb asks, do you think they'll ever bring American Steam to Train Sim World 3? I reckon eventually. I know that Steam is not a really big seller, so they tend to do it for love. So, but I would think so, yes, at some point. Steve J, Metro North or Long Island Railroad in London. Well, why not? We had an American werewolf goes to London, so, you know. Why not a train? We've had ICE trains in America. We've had Australian trains in America. Flying Scotsman's been in America and Australia, so why not? I know that's not what they mean when they say train travel, but, you know, why not? Chasing the yellows again. SIT says he would drive, but it's cheaper to get the train. It's usually easier to get the train too when you're thinking about parking in a city. It's quite unpleasant experience, generally speaking. It's either very hard to find or very expensive. There's not really much in the middle. My other half had to go in and get a police check done for her work recently. She had to go into the city for that. And she was going to drive in, and I said, you know, if you park in short-term parking, it'll probably cost you $100. If you get the train, it's $8. And she didn't believe me till she Googled it. Steve J would like to see the UP Challenger or the Santa Fe 2104, or is it Northwestern, I guess, 611. And Caleb would like to see Amtrak on routes like Cajon. So would I. I really would. We need an Amtrak diesel. There isn't an Amtrak diesel in the game yet. And one of the things that I do push pretty hard, I have no sway, let me be really clear on that, but I do push pretty hard to that having an Amtrak diesel and an appropriate Amtrak car set, even if it isn't exactly right for the area, so just have one for the whole country, for example, for me that would layer into every single freight route. And you might only have 2 trains a day in the timetable, because that's realistic. But it'd be fun. And it gives you some variance from the freight when you feel like doing something else. Yep, our repeater just went green, so we're okay. So I reckon having Amtrak on the freight routes would be excellent. People have sometimes seen me stream using the Amtrak electric locomotives on diesel routes, because you can. I occasionally think about using the community editor to build up a diesel-based scenario and just reskin one of the other diesels as an Amtrak. But I've never gotten around to learning it. Steve J says his first visit to London, he got lost on the underground. You know, that's easy to do. I haven't been to London, but it's a very extensive network. It was like the first time I went to New York. Before I figured out what the hell uptown and downtown meant, and the fact that the trains that run east and west still say uptown and downtown, before you figure that out, it's quite difficult. So I'm not that surprised. We're nearing the end of this run. It's a little bit quicker than the game advertised. It said 1 hour and 6 minutes, but I don't think we're going to be spending that unless we're sitting at a red signal for ages. No one's got the patience for expensive parking. I prefer to go in the train if I'm going into the city anyway, even if I did have a park. I drove in there for years when I worked in the city, because I work outside the city these days, which is much better. And you know, I really couldn't be bothered anymore. Steve J says, right platform, wrong direction. Oh, that's easy to do. So easy. I think we've all been there at some point or other. Our line currently has a level crossing removal program, so the trains actually change platforms sometimes. They might be doing wrong line running and things like that. You've got to be a little bit on your toes at the moment. Double yellow. Hello, Brad MacArthur. How are you? Yeah, everybody has silly parking prices, SIT, definitely. SIT says, once went to London, never again. My other half and I are actually vaguely starting to think about a Euro trip. It will be a little while because current economic climate is not amazing for travel, simply because of the amount of money you have to spend. And there's just not that much money around right now. We're fortunate in that there's 4 adults in this house who own it together. And we all share the mortgage, because if we didn't, we'd be stuffed. But this is the new world. Kids don't leave anymore because they can't afford to live by themselves. Red. Oh, there we go. Yellow. We go again. That wasn't much of a wait. Steve says, until a P42 and Superliners comes to Cahoon, I had used leased equipment, i.e. that Caltrain or MBTA. Yeah, that works. I've put Caltrain on Oakville too. There's a scenario on Creators Club. It's a passenger scenario over there for Oakville, which shows what it would be like if the passenger stuff for Oakville ever comes. I'm not going to hold my breath for that though, because the person who desperately wanted that named Adam has left Dovetail. So I don't know that it's really on anybody else's radar. Brad says he never drives into the city anymore. That's fair enough. I understand that. I'll drive through it if I'm going to the parents-in-law. We drive across the city to do that, but we can bypass the city on the freeway. We don't actually have to go in. It's really convenient because we live right near a freeway entrance and they live right near a freeway exit. So it's freeway all the way. It's great. As long as you don't do it in peak time, in which case it's a very long car park. It's a busy day in Londinium today. SIT absolutely loves travelling on trains. I understand that. I do enjoy it myself. It's very nice to just sit back and look out the windows and see what's going on. And you can, I know it sounds creepy, but I am a street photographer at times, so do a bit of people watching as well, because people do the weirdest shit. They really do. And it's even better if a rampant Karen comes out, gets upset with what someone else is doing on the train. That just makes my day when that happens. 1.9 miles to London, Victoria, with the large, what was a power station is now apartments and shops and things coming up. I really like the modern version of this route. I think they've done an awesome job with it, because it's now got so many things layering into it that it actually gives the PC a run for its money. Steve Jade like to ride the Shinkansen, or like to have the Shinkansen. Yeah, it's a cool service, that one. I think if I lived in Japan, I probably wouldn't fly. I would take trains. I really like their little rural trains. The bong trains, they're just really cute. Another 1800s engineering masterpiece coming up. These old bridges are quite amazing. SIT is going to find out about volunteering to help work on a light steam train that went on a few days, and what an experience that was. Well, that's what I do. I volunteer on a steam railway. I have been there for, this is my 42nd year on the railway actually. So I've been there rather a while. And I've done pretty much every job on the railway except for formally being a driver. I do drive, but not formally as a driver. The firemen do get to drive on our railway, which is good. I was a diesel fireman for a very long time and a track inspector for a very long time. And lately I've had a second crack at learning steam firing. I did try in 2008 and I was terrible at it, and I didn't stick with it, and having the younger mentality at the time, I went, this is too hard, and walked away from it. Which makes me kind of sad, because all the blokes I was training with, they're all steam drivers these days. So if I'd stuck with it, I'd be a steam driver too, but, you know. You makes your choices and you live with the consequences, is basically how it works. So I'm having another crack at learning steam firing. I'm getting better at it. Last week was the first run I had done where the people who were with me didn't tell me anything. They just left me to it, which meant I did cause myself a few problems, but I did have to work my way out of it, which was the whole point of leaving me alone. I have reached that point in my training where I have to do take the next step, which is me be totally in control of it all. And I'm vaguely expecting an assessment in the next 2 months, I would think. I have to be on a Gembrook run to be assessed, so it's our railway is 18.6 miles, or about 27 kilometres. That might not sound like very much, and our trains max out at 15 miles an hour, or 25 kilometres an hour. Again, that may not sound like much, but it is when you're firing. So during the day, you move anywhere between about a bit under to a bit over a ton of coal in the portable global warming machine, and it's very, very hectic. And as a novelty for someone in his 50s, you develop arm and leg muscles. You grow muscles on places that muscles have never been before. Which way are these points set? No, we're going over there. I was wondering which way the points were set, because I could see a train in the platform. I was worried for a moment. Passengers, we are now approaching London, Victoria. You're on platform 14. Hello, Pugface Music, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Pugface Music has a number of interesting exploits if you go and have a look at the channel, from chasing police around to musical talents. Often hangs out with Violet and Al. Al also has a very interesting channel. Steve J is a driver for Norfolk Southern. That's excellent. Brad MacArthur enjoys trains transport until some ill-at-ease person starts annoying everyone. There's always one. There's always one interesting person on a train. Steve says he lives in a decommissioned yard tower with active rail traffic. That's awesome. Hopefully they know you're there. SIT says he doesn't matter about that. It's still difficult to work and very demanding. Yes, it is very hard to do, the steam firing. It is very, very difficult. And it's different every day, because it varies by the temperature of the air and the humidity and whether it's raining and all sorts of excitement like that. You know, I have to agree, that's actually not a bad run. So the run we did, it's 1M39 and it departs at 9:46 AM on London Commuter, which is London Brighton. I've noticed it's changed name in Steam. And we're just waiting for it to finish now. We have unloaded our passengers. Hello, Violet. Welcome. You're in Jacksonville, Steve. That's a nice part of the world. Very nice part of the world indeed. I've got quite a few friends in the stationary engine and tractor fraternity. It's not really a fraternity anymore, is it? Because it's not just boys these days, it's everybody. But a lot of them come from that sort of area. I used to go to a thing called the Tri-State Engine Show every year, but affordability dropped off a little. Oh, only a silver medal. Yeah, I went a bit fast in a couple of places, didn't I? I was naughty. But the stopping accuracy was pretty good. Happy with that. All right, so the next one that we want to do, let's go back to the main menu because we're changing routes. And actually, that was about on time because I think the game said an hour and 6 minutes, and that was an hour and 2. That's not too bad. We are going on Southeastern High Speed this time. So we're all UK this week. And which one do we want? We want a 47 Blue. So this layers in from NTP, Northern Transpennine. And we are in fact running this one, the only service that there is. And what did I set up for this? September. And fog. I'll catch up with the chat in a moment as this starts to load up. I am well, Violet. Let me just get this thing set up. I have to wait for a moment, of course. So we've got the master key in. I've got to try and remember how to drive this. I haven't been in a 47 for so long. Do I want marker lights? Probably not. Don't want a desk light. Tail lights, probably don't want them either. And we don't need train heat, because we have a 47 and a 37. And we are hauling a 375 off to scrap. Alright, let's get you into forwards. Now, where's AWS on this thing? That one. And that one. I think that's all I have to do. What do these switches do? Air brake, passenger, that's fine. They can stay the way they are. Is the window open? What about that window? That window? Windows don't open. Handbrake's off. Good. Alright. Now, I haven't found the headlight switches. Must be up here. No? No? Have we got headlights on by default, maybe? Oh, well, let's just do as your rail driver with it. We cheat then, we don't have to figure them out. Instrument lights would be useful. Let's just release these brakes and put the locomotive brake on, because that would be the normal thing to be done at this point. Alright, I think I'm all set up, so let's... we're just waiting for a signal to clear, so I'll catch up with the chat. Violet says hi. Violet's channel, if you like a bit of fun and a bit of music and a bit of ad-lib and a bit of comedy, Violet has the channel for you. We're only allowed to do 15 apparently. SIT says it opens downwards. Ah! Ooh. I'll just turn my headphones down so I don't yell at you, because that's a bit loud. If it's too loud for you guys, please let me know and I'll turn it down. Cruise out of the platform. Still catching up. Violet's doing well, that's good. And Pug, thanks for the shout out, you're absolutely welcome. Trains, kits, etc. says, when I was a kid, Dad shoved me in the garden with an old round trash can, the metal ones, and a bunch of smashed up brick, and told me to shovel them into the bucket to practice. Oh, that sounds like an interesting way to do it. Coal's a little bit lighter than bricks. But yeah, I could see the point of doing that, because you're trying to get it into a hole. It's so different on the footplate though, because it moves so much. And when you're trying to aim a shovel, our firebox is quite small, fortunately. Well, it's good and bad. So it's only 3 feet long or 1 metre long, but when you're trying to aim a shovel and get it into the right place, and the place you're aiming for is moving, the 37 and 47 do sound very nice, SIT. Pugface Music says maybe he'll find a Vegas train for us. Why not? Or you could chase one of the Cajon Pass ones. Or you could go out to Techahappy and get one of the ones going around the giant circle. They're always fun. SIT says they were using new coal and they didn't like it. It was burning but setting like toppy, which put the fire out. Yeah, we use coal at this time of year from Maitland in New South Wales. And it's a relatively clean burning coal, but it does leave a little bit of clinker. but it's quite high in sulfur, so it burns relatively well, but if you get too thick a fire bed, it can be your undoing, and I've had that problem a couple of times. I'm just crawling now because we're coming up to a red signal anyway. And in summertime, we use a coal from Queensland, an Atherton coal. And we use that one because it's got less sulphur in it, so it sprays less burning bits out of the funnel, which means it's much less likely to set fire to the bush that we travel through. Which would be slightly embarrassing. I don't really want to set fire to the place where you live. Gently powering up to this red signal because we're clearly going uphill. Pugface says the graphics are amazing. They are pretty good. I mean, it's a game. It's just a simulator, but yes, they are quite good. They do make some effort around them. Pugface Music just realised that on 720p is watching at 4K. Am I pushing out at 4K? Really? Wow. I thought I was pushing out at 2. Actually, I'm using a lot of bandwidth going out. I actually might be pushing out at 4. I better have a look at that. Yes. I'm using 15 meg per second right now. That's a lot. Hello, Mr. Mayhem. Welcome back. Finish your high-speed run. Pugface Music said if you had this simulator, construct a vibrating chair to make it even more realistic. Yes, you can actually buy vibrating chairs like that. Google Chair Thumper. They're speakers that you mount into your chair. So they're not really for making noise, they're for moving you around. A friend of mine's got the Thumper and his wife hates it. Because all you can hear from his gaming room, he plays Call of Duty all the time. That's about the only thing he ever plays. And all she can hear is coming out of his chair. Because she hates it. SIT says, I'm so nosy when it comes to trains, I'm probably annoying asking questions, but don't ask, you don't know, and you don't learn. Oh, go for your life, mate. Ask any questions you want. Please. Absolutely. There are no dumb questions. There are just things you don't know yet. And then you may well find things I don't know, too. I don't pretend to know everything, but I do. I like now that you get the old livery and the new livery running together. That's kind of cute. Because we're taking one of those out to be refurbished. Do they go out blue and come back white, or is it the other way? I can't remember, actually. I'm not sure. SIT says, Pugface, yeah, them chairs do. I'm sure it's under gaming chairs. Yeah, you can buy vibrating chairs, or you can just get a Thumper and mount it to your chair. I'd probably go down the path of a Thumper, because gaming chairs I don't find comfortable. I know a lot of people do, but I don't personally. And I was kind of fortunate that when COVID happened, our office, we had Herman Miller Miros, which were a very, very nice chair and very, very expensive. And we got to bring all our gear home. And they've never asked for it back, which is cool. Even though we're back in the office quite a bit now. Not full time, but quite a bit. Mr. Mayhem says it had no breakfast. Well, you can fix that. I had a couple of bits of toast because by the time I'd finished feeding the zoo, there wasn't really a lot of time for me to have a good feed. But that's life. Violet is lurking, very good. It's always good to lurk. Just letting this train gradually slow itself down because we've got this red signal coming up. Trains, kits, etc. said, where did that load of coal come from that was just full of rock? We've actually still got some of that. We've got a carriage full of it. It's gradually getting taken away by a guy that runs a miniature railway because he cleans it and smashes it up and gets the coal out of it. It came from Maitland, and their coal washing plant had broken down, but we needed a truckload of coal, so they sent us a truckload of coal. Yeah, and the what Trains, Kits, etc. is talking about there is you'd be shoveling this stuff in. It looked like coal, it felt like coal, because it had a layer of coal on the outside of the rock. And the rocks would basically melt and stick to the fire bars. It was absolutely terrible to get it out at the end of the day, and it was really bad for steaming during the day. The crews had a terrible time. My first training run was with that rubbish. It was very difficult. SIT loves toast, fancies toast, but it's 12:40 AM and he's comfy in bed. You go get toast anyway, why not? We're definitely chasing the yellows on this one. And my mirror's about to whack that lady on the head. I was out with the driver on the normal railway the other day, just for a bit of a lark. And I noticed there were people on the wrong side of the platform line, and I mentioned it to him, and he goes, well, I'm a firm believer in Darwin. If the train hits him, the train hits him. Well, fair enough. Trains, Kits, etc. says we have a truckload of it in our miniature line, and yeah, coal is a generous way to describe it. Ah, Gillingham. Yeah, it's kind of, it's like a Malteser, I suppose, Trains, Kits, etc. It's got a rock centre and a coal coating. Hopefully this run of signals will continue and we can speed up now. On our way to Faversham. SIT, I'd love to spend a few hours in a driver's cab, such a good experience. Yeah, you've just got to find the right person who has the right level of access to the railway these days to make it happen. Generally a on-the-job training driver can take you out, but a normal driver can't. And you still have to sign a whole pile of indemnity forms. Oh, back to yellow. We officially do cab rides on our railway at Puffingbilly, but easier said than done these days. I've not actually seen one approved for quite a long time. I was just thinking of braking then. I had someone comment on one of my American train videos this morning or overnight that my method of braking was dangerous and that you should only use initial application. And I'm thinking, an initial application wouldn't actually get you to suppression on the safety system, so you'll end up stopping from an emergency brake. An initial application is only, depending on the train, 7 to 10 pounds of air. It's not enough to slow you down. So it was an interesting comment. There's nothing quite like driving a train downhill to learn how to use the brakes. because you only get 3 serial applications if you're not letting it charge up. After the third one, you're not going to be able to stop anymore. It's very important to let it completely recharge between applications. We should use the advanced knowledge the HUD's given us, even though we can't see the signal yet. Where's the train? Oh, there it is, hiding in the bush. This is pretty normal for a non-revenue service to be passed in directly behind something else so that you're not delaying the network. If you do ever get the opportunity for a cab ride on a railway, absolutely do it. I used the windscreen wipers apparently. Thanks, Raildrive. It's interesting playing this in 2K versus playing it in 5K, because I've got a 5K ultra wide screen. I've got to say it's a lot of fun. It's much more immersive, and to my amazement, the card seems quite happy driving a 5K monitor. It surprised me a lot. Perfectly okay to have a bit of an obsession with trains. I think that's everybody here, mate. Nothing wrong with having a bit of an obsession with trains. Nothing wrong at all. I can see there's lots of other people watching today. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying the stream. If you have any suggestions or questions, feel free to sing out in the chat. Always like to talk to people. And we're in a bush again. Excellent camera angles. Perfect. Dare I speed up? That's the question. Is it time for a bit of thrash? I think it's time for a bit of thrash. Let's just get out far enough so we can hear it properly. And off we go. Lots of American tourist railways offer cab rides with a paid upgrade to the normal passenger fare. Doesn't seem to have caught on in Australia. Whatever was in our way doesn't seem to be there anymore, which is excellent. Get a bit more speed on. Do I have motion blur turned on? Might check that after this run. Another green, good to see. I've got it up pretty loud for you guys, so hopefully that's okay for you. I did notice in my last couple of tutorials the trains were very quiet. Ah, the Ukraine train. Hello, Michael Newberry. Haven't seen you for ages. Welcome. Oh, we're going a bit quick. We're being naughty, we are. It's only a little bit naughty, though. Hello, Mark B. Welcome. Haven't seen you for a little while either. Welcome back. Trains, kits, etc. says got a ticket for a cab ride on the VGA before COVID, but not had a chance to go up there since, and had a kid. Oh, congratulations. It's always a very interesting time of life. A new child. It gets better when they're about 25, honest. But hopefully you get your cab ride up there. I've been to VGR as a passenger fairly recently. We went up and visited. And before that I hadn't been there since, I think it was 2019, when we took, which one did we take? 7A, I think. We took 7A up there for a run. I went up there with that to help out. My job was the official photographer on that week, but I somehow got covered in crap anyway and managed to play with trains, as you do. I'm actually very glad that you're on the busy side, Michael. Because that means life's probably looking up a little for you, which is good news, I hope. Hopefully. Yes, IT, bloody yellows. Ah, yellows are okay. Yellows make the drive more interesting, which is why I like this run. There are days when you want nothing but greens, but there are also days when you like chasing the yellows. A bout of food poisoning. Well, that's a bit crap. Probably literally. There's an image no one needed. Hopefully you recover relatively quickly, Michael. It's never an exciting time. No one likes riding the rocket. Back on the yellows again, but it was fun while it lasted. I quite like chasing yellows on the new steam route, Peak Forest, because the advanced signalling is, there's a red signal up there somewhere. Might not be the next one, it might not be the one after that, it might not be the one after that. Surprise, Spad! Yep. I think we've all been there. I don't know how people cope with that signalling in real life, but I have done my diligence and checked it out. It really is like that. We have a repeater up here showing the next signal is yellow. Hey, Crazy Dash, how are you? Welcome. Crazy Dash is another individual with an excellent simulation channel. I encourage you to have a look. Yeah, we're back in a tree. Good to see. We're chasing the yellows in a 47 and a 37 that are hauling a... Is it a 387? I think it's a 387. We're either hauling one away to be refurbished or we're hauling it away on... hauling it back. I can't remember which way round it is, whether the white ones or the older ones. I think the white ones went away and the blue ones came in, so... I think. Maybe. Not sure. And over there's a 166. Oh, I forgot you're traipsing around Europe at the moment. That's excellent. Are you going to go to Lisbon? There's a question. Because if you go to Lisbon, make sure you ride the roller coaster tram. And it's 2 a.m. for you now, and you're going to go to sleep. Fair enough. Enjoy yourself. I hope to see a ton of videos from you for your escapades. And are you visiting DTG while you're in Europe? I know Europe's huge and you may not be going to the UK, but if you are and you haven't asked, you should. They are accepting visitors again. Mark B was chasing yellows in an Edinburgh to Glasgow scenario last night. That's cool. Which one was it, Mark? I'll put it on my list. Let me find the actual community post for you guys, because there's a list of excellent service runs. The guy that maintains this keeps 3 spreadsheets of runs, from challenging runs to chaos runs. Worth having a look if you play, because they add a new dimension to it, I think. Cleaning and lurking. Excellent, bug. Did I see on one of your videos, I haven't watched it yet, but I saw on the little preview run of it, just when I got up this morning, that the police you were videoing were actually watching you on YouTube, which I thought was kind of funny. Pugface music chases police around, if you're wondering. Crazy Dash went to London 2 weeks ago. Mostly stayed within the city except for a ride to Milton Keynes Central on a 319 and back. Oh, fair enough. No diversion to Chatham then? It is always a little bit weird visiting an IT company. It doesn't happen anymore because this event doesn't happen, but for about 5 years running, I was going to the US every year on Google's dollar. It's always a bit interesting visiting in their offices, like, oh no, you can't look over there, you can't look over there, you can go and look over here. Time to Glasgow. Thank you, Mark. How are we going for time? Yeah, we might even have time to look at that. Crazy Dash, sadly not, also missed the 313 retirement. Oh well. Really enjoyed riding on the 319, that's good. There's a lone 66, all by itself. One of the 313s is going to be preserved, but the two groups seem to be bickering over which one. It's like, just take one each. Preserving machines from that era can be a little bit of a challenge because they're often filled with asbestos. And he went out to Reading as well, BWML, very good. And the Great Western Main Line. So you've been on Lucerne, Susie, Bakerloo, GWE and the BML. Excellent. That's really good, Crazy Dash. So I guess we'll see you playing them more now. I do find it interesting to go back to the existing stuff from time to time because, you know, as an ambassador, I'm always playing the newest thing to show it off. But I like going back and playing the older stuff because it's just fun. And at the moment, we're fortunate because there's not much in the way of new stuff coming out right now. So it's time to play other things. Lately I've kind of gotten into American Truck Simulator a little bit, so I may stream a bit of that at some point. Back on the yellows. If we go into the fog. Right, Crazy Dash, enjoy your exploring. Glad you're able to do it. If anyone's thinking of travel and has the means to do it, I really strongly encourage it if you haven't gotten into it. For the simple reason is it can really change your outlook on life. Because we all get very used to the things around us at home and seeing the way other people live and other cultures, and from a pure nerd perspective, other trains, it's quite an eye-opener. I've spent a lot of time in the US, mainly because I work there, but also because I've been there for other things. Got a lot of good friends there. Been to Greece, Singapore, Malaysia, India, Thailand. Thailand doesn't really count, I was only there overnight, didn't even leave the airport, wasn't allowed to. Blokes with machine guns said no. That's one of the things that's a real novelty when you travel, because, you know, you're used to your home country. And in Australia, you'd never see a bloke with a machine gun at the airport unless something was wrong. But no, Thailand, Singapore, no, everywhere. Blokes with machine guns. It's like, yeah, clearly I'm going to behave myself in this airport. I did actually see in Singapore a person that was getting quite violently upset. And they got taken away. Brad MacArthur is enjoying another culture on a road trip in Queensland. Yes, Queensland is different, isn't it, Brad? It's just a little bit different. Part of Queensland are you in now? I'd say Brisbane was relatively normal from Aussie perspective, but when you get up north, it's quite different. Coming into Faversham, which I think's where this one finishes. Yeah. Sunshine Coast. Excellent. It's not so different on the Sunshine Coast, I suppose, but... Last time I was on the Sunshine Coast was when I was a kid. We went up there for an Apex convention. I'm not even sure Epic still exists. They're a club like Lions or Rotary or United Way, all those various not religious, honest charity groups. This is the end of the run for this one. I don't think I've actually got Glasgow Commuter loaded, so I won't run the Glasgow one today. Let's get it up to full service. And there we go. Didn't even get time to take it out of forwards. Silver medal. Only a silver. I'm sad now. Oh well. What was I going to do now? Northern Transpennine. And a little bit of Calming 101. Just because I like them. And we're going to do the 1940... No, that's right, you can't search on this one. 1941. And we're doing July. And we're doing light clouds. To start with, anyway. Let the dynamics take care of it. Brad got as far north as Airlie Beach. That's pretty good. And Mark B, Queensland sounds a bit like Chatham, at least how it used to be. Queensland's where everybody else goes to retire. Let's get this thing set up. So, muster key for a start. Handbrake is released. That's released. Good. Let's get our doors open. What side are we on? Left side. Is the train running? I think. Let's put our marker lights on. Destination indicator should be on. The engines look like they're running, according to that. Now, where are we going? We're going to Huddersfield. Get this to Huddersfield. If Huddersfield's even on here. I didn't see Huddersfield. Okay, we'll go with special. That'll do fine. Let's get some lights on. Let's get our doors locked. I can remember how this works. Now, if we're in neutral, so get it into forwards. And brakes released. Which one's the gearbox in this one? Not that one. That one! There we go. First gear. Away we go. This train's a bit different. It's kind of like a bus. Don't have a lot of passengers. But you have to watch your tachometer down here, and when the needle gets into the up range, you change gears. And there's an excellent video on this from the old LWS times about how fast you can change gears and how you drive this thing so that you don't chew the gearbox up, which is really quite cool. Don't be in a hurry, it's not that kind of train. We're only supposed to be doing 20 mile an hour, but we're doing 30. Bite me. When you're coasting, you're meant to be in 4th gear. This will be our last run today. It's a sunset run, naturally enough. Bit bit slow. I have to go into second gear. That's better. We have another route diversion coming up. Accelerating towards Morley. I like this train because it's a bit of a handful to make it all work. And of course, by the time you actually get up to line speed in this train, it's time to stop. And we're going to Tasmania in the not too distant future, but the festival we're going to is fully booked out, but that's okay. We'll just wander around Hobart and find something to do. How hard could it be? No trains in Hobart. None at all. I had also planned to drive up to the ABT Wilderness Railway, Australia's only rack railway that still runs, but unfortunately they've had a little bit of an issue and they're closing the entire line for maintenance in the time that we're there. I have to do a lot of work, which is just a little bit of a bummer from my perspective. So it'll be a train-free trip. Even the train museums are all closed. I'm trying to make contact with one of them to see if I can get in, to see if they've got volunteer days or something like that I can get in and have a look. Welcome to our hugely high-speed service. Got lights on at the front. Do I have lights on at the back? Uh-oh. Alright, next station we'll fix the lights on down the back. Yellow signal? Oh yeah, I haven't turned on AWS. Down under this chair, I think. I think there's a handle. Yeah, there we are. Let's see if we get away with this. Pumped out. Hello, Daniel Robert Tower. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, the 101's fun, but no high-speed monkeying around in this one. I think I slowed down a bit early, didn't I? Let's see if we can get going in second gear or third gear. Ooh, just. Off into the wonders of the British countryside. Wandering along towards Morley. The brakes are interesting in this too. This is your brake handle here. I'll look out this way so you can see what I do with the brake handle. Got a red signal at either at the start or the end of Morley. I think at the end. Just woke up for some human requirements there, Daniel Robert Jowett. Very good. Watching a train stream on the Dunny. Is there anything better than that? To start this thing on the path to slowing down. Oops, why am I neutral for? I want to be in fourth. Brakes off. Back into the lap position. Rolling into Morley Station now. Hopefully it's warm and comfortable down at Daniel. That'll do. Why does it sound like I'm revving? Oh, it's because I am. Ah, it's naughty. Oh yeah, we were going to, let's just apply the brake fully. Because we're going to jump out of here. Open the door. Can't open the door. Alright, go this way. Because we need to go and fix that tail light situation. Just hit myself in the face with the door, and then I walked into a passenger. Destination light. Left, right, test. There we go, that's what we want. Red lights, very good. You gonna get on that? Don't want to? No? Cool, alright, stay there then. Lock doors. Back into first gear. Signal has changed. Release the brakes. And away we go. Put the brake back into lap, which is in the central position. Off to Batley. It's like Batman, but no cape. English headlights. Selector 3. I'll put the lights on so you can see what's happening at least. Daniel says it is, thanks. The temperature outside is dropping a bit. We've had some pleasant days, but the nights have been chilly. Oh, it's not too bad here, Violet. Not sure what it is right now. Where's my 11 degrees? That's not too bad for this time of year. Bureau says we're going to have the warmest winter on record. Warmest and driest. We shall see. We cruise through this never-ending tunnel. On our way to being ejected out the other side. And whenever you're travelling through a tunnel and you finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, you always have to hope it's not a train. Yes, that might hurt. Hey look, I'm in both ends. That's funny. We're going a little bit faster at 101, I think. How much faster are we going? A little bit fast. That's okay. No one will know. This is old railways. This is where they'd go, oh, it's just spirited running, mate. Don't worry about it. But I'd better start slowing down a little bit for Batley, or we won't stop. We'll just sail straight through it. Maybe a little bit more for Batley. It's one of those interesting things, Violet. How can it be cold in a place like Sunbury? This train has a very strange setup from a rail driver perspective. The train brake is the gear handle, which is why I keep hitting it. And the independent brake is the main train brake, which is just weird. Haven't got any more brakes to give. I'm giving it all. More ass than class. Getting into the sunset times. I was doing a photo shoot for a model yesterday and was relatively amused to know that she lives in where the same suburb I live in, so down in Frankston. Well, gratuitous, oops, wrong side. Gratuitous bridge shot time, as you do. My entire Steam library is full of gratuitous bridge shots. That's true, Mark B, because with slam doors, it was the same here. Passengers just did that. Oops. Yeah, I throttled up too early then. There we go. It wasn't quite in gear yet. Yeah, passengers just opened slam door stock whenever they felt like it, really. I know when I was a kid we used to ride along with the doors open. It was just the done thing. Dewsbury next stop. Dewsbury? Dewsbury? Dewberry? I don't know. Something like that. Something amusing. I did like, or do like the, oh, that's not a bad shot there. I do like the attitude of the route builders in England where they just build overhouses. Imagine doing that here. People would go nutty. Quite a big station for the middle of nowhere. Missed the stop by that much. Did I open the doors? I think I did. Route map. So we're there, and we're coming this way, and we're going to Huddersfield. Not a collectible. Clearly time to go. Should get back in the cab then, shouldn't I? Oh, wait until... got 10 seconds. Plenty of time, mate. Plenty of time. Oh, I forgot we had the lights on in here. First gear. Brakes off. Yeah, first gear. There we go. Off we go again to Ravensthorpe. No, too quick. Don't be in a hurry. It's a 101. Now I can do it. There we go. If you throttle up too quickly, you catch it between gears. So it takes... I think it takes 5.5 seconds to change, something like that. In the game it doesn't take quite that long, but in reality it does. So you'd be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Throttle up. And the video I saw of this, I think it's an LMS video, was saying it was the pinnacle of technology, and they were praising how fast this gearbox could change. And I was going, really? 5.5 seconds is fast? A bit bumpy. Seems fair. All the brakes. We might be spatting this. This might be a premature end to this scenario. I think it's gonna be. Uh-oh. Too busy getting screenshots. Did we replay that? What time is it? It's 2 hours. I want to finish it. That was a good show of tradesmanship, wasn't it? Let's go down the other end. Yeah, Spatosaurus, and there's no point putting it in gear without putting it into forwards first. Instrument lights. Now let's put it into first gear. Lock the doors. Brakes off. Someone remembered the SPAD command. Well done, Brad. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, that was a monumental fail, wasn't it? Well, I'm going to run this one again because it's short and I want to finish it. Hope you don't mind. Wish I could skip stations now. We are going to go a bit quick through here, so we'll just ignore that. Just so we get back to where we were quickly. It won't derail, it'll be fine. Famous last words. Whoops, not neutral. High speed run to Morley. Need me sunglasses. Off to the left we go. We're only doing 45 mile an hour and we should be doing 20. It's all good. Nothing to see here. Move along. Off to the left branch here. I didn't lose anyone on that spad. Normally I get a whole lot of people rage quit when I spad. But the screenshot was worth it, don't you think? Surely. Next cup. This one's a thermos cup, lasts longer. I won't plug its brand or anything because I bought it, but it lasts for hours and stays hot. Let's just pretend we don't have speed limits. Just so we can get to Morley quickly. $70 mile an hour and a 101. Pushing our luck. I think we'll coast the rest of the way into Morley. In lap, I am good. Single yellow. It's not till Morley the signal, so let's, oops. Let's just release the brakes. Coast the rest of the way in. Train's running faster than my camera. That's okay. I'm off the power a little early, I think, but that's all right. Clearly uphill here. We lost so much speed through there. No DSD for this train. You can still drive this one when you're standing up too, if you want to. You better let gravity take care of this for a little while. Passengers, next stop is Morley. That'll do. So stop moving the camera around, it's too jerky. Clearly a very busy, well-used service, this one. We're early. Well, normally I just drive off being early, but we can't because there's a red signal. Is anyone to talk to? Do I have no one on my train? No one at all? No one at all. Look at that. No one. We'll go for a walk. Let's go explore Morley after we get untangled from that seat. Oyster. Sandwich. It is approaching lunchtime here. Route map. Newspapers. Video games to be in 3 dimensions. Dun dun dun. Of course. And that at the time when this route came out was a kind of a subtle hint about the next diesel that was coming out. If I remember correctly. Very few people twigged to it. No more route maps or posters around here? No. How you doing? Not going to say anything? No. There's a train over there. I should get back on it. Because it's almost time to get the flock. Gather up all the little shippies and get out of here. With my incredibly well populated service. Away we go. Everybody's gone quiet since I did this bed. No one's chatting anymore. Oops. Slowly speeding up towards Batley for the second time today. Uh-oh. It wouldn't be a stream if there wasn't a spad or two. Did I make the tunnel joke again? No? It's a city then. Could be like that old amusement park ride, the Tunnel of Love. She always had the ghost train and the Tunnel of Love. The ghost train was always violent and jarring and lots of surprises, and the Tunnel of Love was basically for people to cruise along slowly and snog. This time I should behave better. Daniel kindly says spads are what make it interesting. Yeah, this thing stops nearly as fast as it accelerates. It's like a little car horn, this thing. All the brakes. It'll stop, honest. It'll be fine. Nothing to see here. It's all good. We're gonna have at least one car in the platform. Perfect. Stops don't get better than that. Mind that first step, people who aren't on the train. This time we'll go up here and wait for it. See if I can drive it when I can't see. What? Wait 40 seconds? What? Fine then. Let's go explore the station. Just have to go up here to do it, because otherwise we're not going to be on this. Oh, I locked the doors, didn't I? Can I open the door? No. Fine. Time I get back up here, it'll be time to go anyway. And we're still going to go up here and watch it come across the viaduct, because we can. I thought I did lock the doors. Did I open them again? I've just unlocked them again. You open or not? No, all good. How about that? You can drive it when you're not in it. Rail driver makes that a little bit easier though. One mile to Dewsbury for the second time today. It's one of those interesting things actually, because one of the things they teach you on the real railway is late doesn't matter. The timetable is a guide. Don't change the way that you drive the train just because you're late, because you will stuff it up. Next stop, train of empty passengers, Dewsbury. At least it builds up vacuum quickly. Yeah, it'll do nicely. We're on top of the bridge. Very good. Good place to watch a train leave from. Am I early again? I am early again. Of course I am. I think we've already explored Dewsbury. There was nothing to see here. There's no signal at the end of this platform, so we'll just leave. As you do. It'll figure out we're gone eventually. I just won't build up lots of speed or it'll get sad. On the double yellow heading for Ravensthorpe. I'm sure we've been here before. Don't want to go too quick though, we'll just get there early. I'll have to wait again. Just get it into fourth gear. We'll just cruise our way in. It's knocked over my steering wheel. Oh, maybe that's what's causing the fun USB things, because it's plugged in. It's sitting on the floor, it's not got power. That might be the cause. Enjoying the 1000 nits brightness of the new monitor, because it's very, very bright here right now. Outside, and I can still see. This is nice. Unlike my previous monitor that I would have been driving in the dark now. And clearly this train has AWS, but the route doesn't. We're stopping this time. Probably a little early. This is an abandoned station. Why are we stopping here? Oh well, let's go and explore. It's clearly an abandoned station. Way out, man! Sometimes, Dovetail, your attention to detail could do with a little bit of work. Oh, there's no climb up on this platform. It's one of these ones where you've got to go to the right spot. Route map. Clearly this bin's not collected anymore. There's a person here. There's lots of persons here. Hello, persons. How you doing, mate? Where'd you go? Disappeared. Oh, it's just gone. Sangers. Way out, man. Oh, we've done that joke, haven't we? Oh well. Still no one on my train. And we've got someone at an abandoned station that we stop at. Go figure. And I can't really leave early with this one. I can shut the doors though. Get ready to go. But I can't leave because I've got a red light. Still got a red light. There we go. Wrong way. Off we go to Murfield. Is Murfield like Merkin? Probably not. Did I move the wrong handle? No, surely not. That would never happen. Cruising into the sunset towards Murfield. Alright, we've successfully gotten past the point of no! And can now continue on our quest to reach Huddersfield before darkness. .2 miles to Murfield. So this is one of the areas where the game significantly improved this programmatic placement of grass. No more. Now has an element of random. It looks so much better. Yeah, we have a yellow signal coming up on the approach to Murfields. So it'll start slowing down for it. Double yellow. I've watched some people driving this thing who are good enough to get a bit of vacuum back into the brake without completely releasing them, but that skill eludes me just a little. I think we'll just let this sit and let it run in and see where it stops. I think it's going to stop early. Maybe not. I'm quite happy for that with a single application. Just right at the end of the platform. It's not where the game wanted me to stop, but it's cool anyway. I reckon it was good. I kind of liked it. Loading, loading. We don't have so long to wait here. And we can leave as long as we go slowly. We've got Dayton and then Huddersfield. Oops, I just unlocked the wrong side of the train because I'm clever. So there's no signal here, so there's no reason why I can't just roll out of the platform now. Just go a little bit early. Because it's not as though anyone's going to dob me in, because there's no one getting on the train. So I don't see an issue here. There's another nice shot. Put that in their screenshot competition. They like things like that. Off we go to Dayton. Actually, it just occurred to me, you guys probably aren't hearing all the USB plug-unplug sounds that I'm hearing, because I don't actually broadcast that channel. Metra appears to be back. Comes in at the start of the stream, waits for his shout out, gets off. Comes back later. Cruise into the sun. Ooh, we have a diversion. Better get off the speed. Looks like a high-speed diversion, so that's fine. Well, that was fun. Be glad I have a mute button. Second last stop of Dayton coming up for today. I chose this one deliberately because it cruises into the sunset. Thought it was kind of poetic. And it's the old sunset system where you don't get much colour in the sky, but I kind of like it. And after this, I'll have to do some exciting things like put my washing on and put it outside and see whether it dries or freezes, because it's probably about a half-half today. As long as the sun stays out, it'll be alright. Mind you, with the sun out, I could be lazy and just chuck it in the dryer and let the solar panels pay for it. That would work too. And I can go back to doing something immensely exciting like tidying my room, since I've just got a new cupboard to put my junk in. And I forced myself to make the cupboard yesterday by taking all the junk that was in the old cupboard and putting it on my bed, so I had to put it away. So I had to finish the cupboard before I went to bed. So at about midnight last night, guess which little duck was working on a cupboard? So he could go to bed. And I replaced this beautiful piece of wooden furniture with some crap from IKEA, simply because I need more vertical space to put my crap in. Do. I'll sit over here so I don't get run over by a passing train. Oh look, a human! Is she gonna get on the train though? Nah. I shall continue my lonely journey. She came into the station and left. That just says everything, doesn't it? Off goes the little 101. How do I turn on the train lights? Oh, I have my destination light on. I think it's over there. It's getting dark for the non-existent passengers. Put some lights on for them. There we go. There we go. Train lights are on inside now. What's that? I should sit in the chair and pay attention so I don't crash. Huddersfield. This one goes to Huddersfield. Very good. Does it say Huddersfield? Yes. You know, that might have helped with people getting in the train, just telling them where it was going. Just going on our gentle cruise into Huddersfield on the yellows. Might have been a bit early for fourth gear. That's better. Trying not to get to Huddersfield early, because that would be a disaster with my, count them, 0 passengers. It took a while to count them, didn't it? Better go back there and check the tickets. Call out guard required by driver. That'd be funny. So what am I going to stream next week, folks? I haven't heard when the next big thing is coming out, so I can't make any plans on that. So what are we doing for next week? Train Sim World or American Truck Simulator? There we go, let's do that with a little poll. Oops. Stop that train. We've got a shunting signal on our right here to go into the platform. Probably means we're going into the dead end. I could run passenger on Oakfield, whatever it's called. Canadian one. I might do that. I might run passenger on that one. I haven't done that for a while. Ooh, half the people want Truck Simulator. We are indeed going into the dead end line. And here we are at Huddersfield, end of the run. I quite like these little mid-route runs that take you from a dead-end platform to a dead-end platform. They're just a bit of fun. Oh, it didn't let me shut the train down. That's a bummer. That silver medal. Clearly it was watching my SPAD earlier. All good. I just realised in the public one I'm still under level 700. I should copy over my dev profile. It's slightly higher in that one. So, what are we doing for next week? We've got 33% of people are saying Truck Simulator, 33% are saying TSW, and 33% are saying TSC, and no one wants trams. And I love my spelling there, next to we. Oh, that's so hopeless. So, not a terribly helpful poll, because it's kind of equal. What am I going to do about that? I'll have to decide myself. That's terrible. All right, I'll think of something for next week. It'll be fine. It'll be all good. So we ended up... Oh, only 3 of you voted. Oh, well, that's fine. Anyway, I hope this has been fun for you. It's just a little bit of relaxed stuff. A little bit of the past and a little bit of the present. So, all good. Oh yeah, Creators Club. I'll have a quick look at Creators Club. Just see what's in here. Because, you know, it's been a little while. Because when I'm in dev, I can't see this stuff. Oh, I like that. A graffiti and weathered Golden West hopper. That's nice. More graffiti. The trouble is you'll see that same graffiti 1,000 times in your train because of how it works. They seem to have relaxed their thing about unlicensed liveries. There's a Conrail. That's a nice one. Yeah, it would be cool. Let's go to search. No, I don't want to search for scenarios. I want to search for liveries. Let's go. No Go Transit. Yugoslav Railways in an F7. Excellent. No Go Transit. That's sad. Very sad that there's no Go Transit. That's all right. Yeah, I know you want Metra, but I've only got one route with Metra and it's not very good. All right, I'll figure something out and we'll do something for next week. There's a chopper run. They're a funny thing. But anyway, if you're not familiar with the Creators Club when you play this game, have a look because there's lots of interesting stuff in it. Go trains, you reckon, Michael? Let's have a look. No. Go transit. Oh, there we go. Ah, cool. So if I subscribe to these, maybe we can do some Go Transit on our Canadian route next week. What do you reckon? That's if the other route doesn't come out by then. And I'm not telling you what the name of the other route is because I can't remember if it's been announced or not. I think it has. I'm not sure. But anyway, I don't want to be the one. So we might do some Go Transit next week, unless the other one comes out. In which case, all good. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat all of a sudden. Roadmap on Tuesday. UK Tuesday, that is. Wednesday for the Aussies. So you'll get to see what's coming up next and what their plans are. Should be interesting. Not a lot of plans at the moment, so we'll see what happens. Metra says, to be honest, the TSC Chicago racetrack route is boring. If it was rated in TSW3, it would be epic. I do tend to agree it's boring. The scenery on it's very old. Alrighty, well, have fun, folks, and we shall see you next week. I will be recording a couple more Steamy things this week, so explanatory things for Steam engines. I'll probably do that today while my other half is at work, so I don't annoy the crap out of her. And right now, I'm going to do something really exciting, like put on my wash. So enjoy, have fun, folks. Bye, been great having you here. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.